When a woman loses respect for you, she doesn't just pull away from the relationship. She starts pulling away from the man she thought you were. And when that happens, attraction dies, connection withers, and you're left wondering how you went from being the guy she admired to the guy she tolerates. Respect is the root of desire, the engine of attraction, and the quiet glue that keeps a relationship alive. Lose that, and it doesn't matter how good looking you are, how much money you make, or how much you care, she will drift. But here's the truth. Most men don't want to face. You're probably already making the exact mistakes that cause her to lose respect. They don't look like huge disasters when you're in them. They look small, polite, and even logical. Yet, over time, these patterns chip away at how she sees you until one day you realize she no longer looks at you the same way. That's why today, I want to walk you through 3 fatal mistakes that kill her respect for you, and more importantly, what you should be doing instead. Mistake 1, when asking for advice becomes begging for approval. There's nothing wrong with asking a woman for her perspective. In fact, women love to contribute, to help, to be a sounding board. It's one of the ways they connect. The issue comes when you're not actually asking for advice. You're asking for approval. On the surface, those two look almost identical, but underneath, they couldn't be more different. Picture this. You say to your girlfriend, "Do you think I should go out with the guys tonight?" It sounds innocent, but what she hears isn't a man making a decision and asking for perspective. What she hears is, "I want to go out, but I'm afraid you won't like it, so I'm asking for permission." The minute you phrase things that way, you've made her the judge of your life. She becomes the emotional filter for your choices, and women can feel it immediately. Now flip the frame. Instead of asking, you decide first, then invite input. You say, "I'm going out with the guys tonight. I'll be back later. Anything you'd like me to grab on the way home?" That's leadership. Or if it's something more serious like moving to another city for work, you say, "I'm applying for a role in another city because it fits my career direction. I'd like to hear your thoughts about what that could mean for us." Same situation, same conversation, but one signals self-direction while the other signals insecurity. Let's make it even simpler. Imagine you want to go to the movies, but she says she'd rather go to the pool. Most guys fold instantly. Sure, pool sounds great. They think they're being considerate, but what actually happens is they hand her the leadership role. Over time, that dynamic chips away at her respect. Now compare that to the man who calmly says, "I'm in the mood for a movie. You're welcome to join, or if you want the pool, go enjoy yourself. I'll grab my ticket." That's not being selfish. That's showing you can hold your own preferences without collapsing at the first sign of disagreement. Women don't need you to be controlling. They need you to be centered. And the way you phrase things reveals instantly whether you're operating from your values or from fear of upsetting her. Mistake 2, how expecting rejection creates rejection. Let's move to the second mistake, and this one is just as dangerous. It's when you walk around expecting rejection and then behave in ways that guarantee it. You see her post a picture with a male coworker and your mind spirals. She's probably losing interest. You notice she takes a few hours to reply, and suddenly you're obsessing. She must be talking to someone else. Instead of staying grounded, you bring it up with her. "So who's that guy in your photo?" Or "Why didn't you reply to me?" And the crazy part, you think you're just being honest, but what she hears is, "I assume I'm not enough, and I need constant reassurance from you." That single vibe, expecting rejection, kills respect faster than almost anything, because a woman doesn't want to feel like you've put her on a pedestal that high. She wants to feel like you've got options, stability, and a life that doesn't crumble if she pulls away for a moment. Here's what you need to know. Almost every woman, especially early on, will test you, sometimes consciously, sometimes without even realizing it. She'll take longer to text back. She'll casually mention an ex. She'll make a comment designed to spark jealousy. Not because she's cruel, but because she wants to see if your center is internal or external. If one small gust of wind makes you panic, she knows she can't rely on you long term. The man who maintains respect doesn't panic. He doesn't interrogate. He doesn't start a debate about her behavior. He just lives his life, leads the interaction forward, and lets her reveal her true interest through her actions. For example, if she takes 2 days to respond, you don't blow up her phone with, "Why are you ignoring me?" Instead, you wait, and when you're ready, you reopen with something playful and directional. "I found a new spot with the best tacos in the city. I'm going Thursday at 7, join if you want." That one move communicates calm, abundance, and leadership without ever needing to argue. But let's also be clear. There's a difference between a normal test and a toxic pattern. If she constantly tries to make you jealous, lies about who she's with, or thrives on drama, those aren't harmless tests. Those are character flaws, and this is where strong boundaries matter. The right move isn't to outsmart her games. The right move is to state your standard once and walk away if she keeps violating it. Because at the end of the day, you don't attract what you wish you could have. You attract what you tolerate and what you model under pressure. Mistake 3. Vulnerability before respect is earned. The third fatal mistake is one most good men make. Leaning emotionally before respect is earned. Let me be clear. Vulnerability is powerful. It creates intimacy, connection, and depth. But vulnerability dropped too soon, before she feels a foundation of respect and attraction, is like handing her a heavy suitcase before she's ready to carry it. Here's an example. A young guy meets a girl he really likes. By the second date, he's telling her all about his childhood trauma, crying in front of her, and asking for comfort. She feels sympathy, but also unease. She doesn't know him well enough yet to process that kind of weight, and instead of feeling connected, she starts testing him, even pulling back. Maybe she asks him for a ridiculous favor to see if he'll do it, and he complies immediately just to win her approval. In her mind, he's no longer strong, he's needy. Now imagine the same man, but he paces himself. Early on, he hints at the fact that he's dealt with challenges, but he doesn't unload them. He shows consistency, stability, and direction first. After weeks of trust and respect, he gradually opens up more deeply. This time, when he shares something vulnerable, she leans in. Because he's proven he can carry his own weight, his openness now feels like intimacy instead of instability. The principle is simple. Prove, then pour. Prove your strength, your consistency, your direction. Then pour your vulnerability in doses she can receive. That timing makes all the difference between being seen as weak and being seen as deep. So let's tie this all back. Respect doesn't vanish overnight. It dies slowly, one approval, seeking question, one panicked reaction, one premature emotional dump at a time. But just as respect can be lost, it can be rebuilt. The solution isn't to be colder, harsher, or more manipulative. It's to lead yourself clearly, set boundaries firmly, and pace intimacy wisely. Lead yourself first, make decisions from your values, and consult her when it truly affects both of you. Not because you're afraid of upsetting her. Hold your frame during tests. Don't dignify jealousy games or delayed replies with anxiety, but also don't tolerate patterns that cross your boundaries. Pace your openness. Share your inner world only after you've shown her that you can carry your own emotions without leaning on her too soon. A woman doesn't respect a man because he's perfect. She respects a man because he's centered, because he chooses his path, because he stands calmly when tested, because he doesn't hand over the steering wheel of his life to anyone else. So ask yourself, in your past relationships, where have you confused advice with approval? Where have you broadcasted an expectation of rejection? Where have you leaned emotionally before you earned the right to? The moment you can see those patterns is the moment you can break them. And here's the paradox. The very behaviors that earn respect also free you from needing it. When you live from your values, when you hold your standards, when you pace your intimacy, you stop chasing her respect and instead start respecting yourself. And that's the kind of man women want to follow, trust, and stay loyal to. If this resonated with you, drop a comment with the mistake you've caught yourself making most often. I'll be diving deeper into leadership and relationships in an upcoming video. How to set direction without control, how to make decisions without being rigid, and how to create the kind of dynamic where respect isn't a question but a given. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. And remember, you don't win a woman's respect by demanding it. You win it by living in a way that would make you respect you if you were on the outside watching. Lead yourself, hold your ground, and pace your heart. Do that, and respect won't just survive, it will grow stronger the longer she's with you.